Dear students, we have studied many things about the entrepreneurship and intrapreneur differences between an entrepreneur and enterprise manager and the intrapreneur. So now, today we'll be seeing a little information regarding the evolution of entrepreneurship. So when we are speaking about the entrepreneurship here, it's from the beginning some concepts we will be dealing, but from the point of examination it's not that important, but for a general knowledge. This is a picture just to put you the evolution, not a entrepreneurship evolution but general human evolution, how it take. And today you see just with the computer we are sitting, we are here. Okay, so evolution of entrepreneurship, from where we have reached to where in the entrepreneurship. So, in the earliest period, definition of entrepreneurship began as early as the Marco Polo, who comes to the Middle East for trade. So, a person called Marco Polo had come to the Middle East for trading. Trade means exchange of goods and services. Marco Polo has signed an agreement with the capitalists to sell their products. In the contract, merchant adventurer took a loan at a 22.5% rate including insurance. Capitalist was the passive risk bearer and merchant adventurer took the active role in trading, bearing all physical and emotional risks. When the merchant adventurer successfully sold the goods and completed the trip, the profits were divided with the capitalist taking most of them up to 75%, while the merchant adventurer settled for the remaining 25%. So what it says is what happened with the business of Marco Polo. It's not that we must remember entrepreneurship was there earlier also. We know in the history the business began with the barter system, the exchange of goods. So there was a later it was created the value system. So here a systematic what you call business style of dealing took place in the Middle East. So, in Middle Ages, entrepreneur is described as someone who is involved in the care and control of a large production projects. It is possible to control the project using the resources provided by the government. In this case, the entrepreneur does not bear any risk. Entrepreneurs in this age is a have in this age have control and authority of construction works such as public buildings and churches. A typical entrepreneur in the Middle Age was the priest. This is to say that not we are speaking about the Indian history. We are speaking about the world history. And in the world history, that time the churches were called as the what you call enterprises, because from the church many things were carried out in the world. So the priest was the entrepreneur according to what he plans and all, because everybody was looking after the church. Now especially when we speak about the European countries, when we speak about the American countries, the development was made through the churches high. That's why this is a concept here. In the 17th century, the evolution of entrepreneurship can be related with the relationship between risk and entrepreneurs. So, 17th century means after 1600. So, in that, it was understood that risk is one of the important concept. Whoever takes the risk is the entrepreneur. So, entrepreneurship is the person who signed the contract agreement with the government to provide a service or supply products that have been determined. The contract price is fixed. Then the entrepreneurs are fully responsible for the gains and losses of the business. So, here after 1600, entrepreneurship is such a case that taking a permission of the government and making a contract and agreeing to sell the goods to the goods or services to the people. And today also we have a same such system. You see, to have any kind of the business, you can't have your own, so you have to get a permission from the government. You see, this policy has begun long back. So take a permission of the government, then whatever profit or loss comes, that's to you. So John Law, a Frenchman, was one of the entrepreneurs in that period. The founder of the Royal Bank of France and the Mississippi Company, which had an exclusive franchise to trade between France and the New World. Monopoly on French trade eventually led to collapse of the company. Richard Cantillon, an economist, defines entrepreneurs earlier. So this is a man who has also given some explanation to the entrepreneurs. What is the entrepreneurship? Who is an entrepreneur? That way. In his view, the entrepreneur is risk insurers. So he is saying insuring the risk takers, merchants, farmers, craftsmen, and so is an entrepreneur. So he says merchants are also entrepreneurs, farmers are also entrepreneurs, craftsmen also an entrepreneurs. See, he has made these people as entrepreneurs. Not only the merchants today, to the farmers we don't call as entrepreneurs, but actually they are. See, whatever land they have, how to utilize, what crop to bring up. It is all the creativity they are having, innovation they are bringing, and they are also selling the products. That's why they are also entrepreneurs. It's not the entrepreneur doesn't mean that only to the merchants or one who is dealing with the trade. Even in the uh, agriculture who is involved, they are entrepreneurs. They buy things at a certain price and sell it at a price that is uncertain with the risk. So another meaning given by the Richard Cantillon for the this one entrepreneurship is they buy things at a certain price and sell it at a certain price that is uncertain with the risk. So they are not sure, they buy it for a certain price, but whether they are able to sell it to the same rate or not sure. So, in the 18th century, the person with capital was differentiated from the one who needed capital. The entrepreneur was distinguished from the capital provider. One reason for this differentiation was the industrialization occurring throughout the world. Eli Whitney was an American inventor best known for inventing the cotton gin. This was one of the key inventions of the Industrial Revolution. Thomas Edison, the inventor of many inventions, he was developing new technologies and was unable to finance his inventions himself. Edison was a capital user or an entrepreneur, not a provider or a venture capitalist. So, this all how the entrepreneurship developed. In 19th and 20th century, so just previous centuries, entrepreneurs are not always associated with the management. So you see, now the recent concept was entrepreneurs are not the managers. According to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, an entrepreneur is one who organizes, manages, and assumes the risk of a business of an enterprise. He is having a complete risk and putting coming out with one venture. The entrepreneur organizes and manages an enterprise for personal gain. See, whoever does any business, he wants to gain something, profit. For whom? For himself. The materials consumed in the business, for the use of the land, for the services he employs, and for the capital he requires. Andrew Carnegie is one of the best examples of this definition. Carnegie, who descended from a poor Scottish family, made the American steel industry one of the wonders of the industrial world. He has made a wonder. So in the middle of the 20th century, that is just previous century, that means 1950 it comes. Okay, the function of the entrepreneurs is to recreate or revolutionize the pattern of production by introducing an invention. So here invention has taken a place. Innovation, the act of introducing some new ideas, is one of the most difficult tasks for entrepreneur. So in the middle of the 20th century, the concept took place that entrepreneurship means innovation. Earlier it was understood as only the risk. For example, Edward Harriman, who recognized the railroad in the United States, and John Morgan, who developed his large banking house by reorganizing and financing the nation's industries. Besides, the Egyptian who designed and built great pyramids out of the stone blocks weighing many tons each to laser beams, supersonic planes, and space stations. This just explains how and what kind of the enterprises and entrepreneurship had developed. So, in the 21st century, the present century where we are living, entrepreneurs are known as a hero for free enterprise market. Entrepreneur of the century created many products and services and is willing to face a lot of risk in the businesses. Today's world we know it's a business world we say. Especially after 1995, everything has become commercial. Everything is a business, and there is a lot of risk also. There one person enters and another person goes out. So in the business, so it is a survival of the fittest. One is very strong in the business, he is surviving. That's what the situation is. According to Kuratko and Hodges, most people say entrepreneurs are pioneers in creating new business. Yes, today it is true that creating the new business, somebody coming out with a new business is called entrepreneurs. In the year 2005, Hisrich, Peter and Shepard regards entrepreneur as an organizer who controls system as a purchase raw materials, arranges infrastructure through in his own intervention, expertise plans and administers the venture. It gives a picture that what everything is organized by a man is called entrepreneur. It is true. Today's you see business means the whole brain is one. From there everything continues. The head and from there everything flows. Okay, works are done by different people, but ideas are by one person. Therefore, this is a present situation. We are very aware. Now we see how the entrepreneurship developed in the evolution process. What we saw is in the initial stages, we saw that is a risk, just one who is taking a risk. After that, we saw innovation in the 20th century, innovation. And today we see that creating the new businesses, and not only creating the new businesses, controlling, systematizing, purchasing raw materials, arranging infrastructure, and expertisms putting in, then planning, administering everything. The future entrepreneurship will be growth with the development of technologies. It's true that today most of the entrepreneurship is through the technology controlled and everything. So the modern technologies and internet have improved the ways of conduct business. Entrepreneurs now have the luxury of putting their business ideas into action through the click of a button. What it says is through the technology, entrepreneurship is moving ahead, and that is true. In today's world we can see that most of the things are done through the technology, and entrepreneurs make use of the technology and run the business. So technological aspect, this is what evolution first begins with the risk, then innovation, creativity, then what you call new businesses, many businesses starting, then at the end technological march. With this what you call evolution of the entrepreneurship has taken place. So here I close. I hope that you have understood a few things about the evolution of the entrepreneurship, and I am clear and sure from the examination point of view, this is not so important, but a general concept, the word and the concept of entrepreneurship, how it developed over the years.